Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Arc Synergy. Make sure you stick around. Today we're going to go over another state licensure information. So in those videos, you'll get all the information that you need in order to apply to renew your speech language pathology license in any state in the US. So feel free to check out our library of videos. Episodes, we go over each specific state licensure separately so they're easy to find and go through. And without any further ado, let's go into today's episode. Illinois is a common target state for travel SLPs. It has good demands, good rates, and major metro areas with plenty of contract opportunities. But it is not part of the ASLP interstate compact, so there is no compact privilege here. What it does have, though, is a 90-day temporary practice window if you hold your HSCs and have a pending application. So that is generally useful if you are working against a contract start date. So let's go through the full picture for the Illinois SLP license. So, like I was saying, Illinois has now joined the ASLP IC. So every out-of-state SLP who wants to practice here independently needs an Illinois license, no exception for compact states. That said, as I said, they do offer a 90-day temporary practice window. Specifically, if you hold an HSC, you can practice during that window as long as there are no pending or prior disciplinary action in any other jurisdiction, any other state. So that 90-day time starts on the application date and stops when the department renders a decision, whichever comes first. Illinois requires a master's or doctoral degree in speech-language pathology from a program approved by the division or accredited by ASHA's Council on Academic Accreditation. If your program was CAA accredited, you'll meet the Illinois requirements automatically. Programs completed before 2008 may qualify if ASHA certifies that you have met the academic and clinical requirements for the Certificate of Clinical Competence, so for your Cs. So if you have your Cs, that requirement will be automatically applied. I hope that today's episode have been really enjoyable for you so far. Please take the time to leave us a review, to leave us a comment, and to like today's episode. It will really help us develop those videos and put them out faster. And if you have the time, feel free to check out the Arc Synergy app on both iOS and Android. The app is free and there's a free clinician plan, so you don't have to worry about doing any subscription to get started in the app. And let me know what you think. Now, let's get back into the episode. You will then need the equivalent of 9 months of full-time supervised professional experience completed after coursework and practicum, so that is your CF. If you already hold an HSCs, that will serve as your evidence of completion. You do not need to provide separate documents proving that you've completed your CF. And Illinois also requires for you to pass the praxis exam. So you need to send your score directly from ATS. Again, this is another one that the HSCs can substitute for both the exam and all the other supervised experience that they require as well, which makes the endorsement route significantly more attainable, significantly easier at least for you to obtain the Illinois state licensure. If you hold an active SLP license in another state with substantially equivalent requirements, Illinois will license you by endorsement as well. You need to submit a license verification form for every state where you hold or have held a license, confirming active status and no pending or prior disciplinary actions. If you plan to practice in Illinois schools, you need 2 credentials. So first, the standard Illinois SLP license that you will need. So that will cover all clinical settings. Second, a professional educator license with a speech-language pathology endorsement issued through the Illinois State Board of Education via the ELIS system. This is required for school-based practice and is separate from your clinical license. Starting in January of this year, all applicants for the professional educator license must pass the Illinois Licensure Testing System exam, or ILTS 232, regardless of which pathway they use. This applies to reciprocity applicants, out-of-state program verifications, and Illinois-approved programs completers. So no one is exempt from this exam requirement going forward. If you do not complete school-based practicum hours during your master's, you will also need to complete and need at least 150 hours of supervised school-based professional experience with students with disabilities before practicing independently in the school system. SLPs providing services through the Illinois Early Intervention System needs the IDFPR license plus enrollment in the state Early Intervention Central Billing Office System, plus completion of Early Intervention System Overview training through the Early Intervention Training Program. So that is a separate credential track from the standard license that should be noted. If you are obtaining your license through examination, meaning that you just completed your CF and you're getting your first license, the initial license fee is $90. If you are obtaining the license via endorsement, either with your chassis or through another state licensure, the fee is $100. Current processing time is approximately 8 weeks. We also store all the board contact information and keep them up to date in the Org Synergy app. We have the phone number and their email address. So as a recap, although Illinois is not part of the compact state licensure, there is a 90-day temporary practice window that can be a real asset for travel SLPs. School contract can have an added layer now, especially with the Illinois testing system exam requirements. So keep that in mind if you want to practice in the school system. So you need to know what credential that you need before you start the process. And that's where it can come in handy to download our app, Org Synergy. It is a free download, and we have a free clinician plan that you can look up any information for any state that you need to without paying any subscription fees. And that is it for this week's episode. Stay tuned for next week where we will go over Illinois' provisional licensure requirement.